Imagine nearly 1 million migrants who legally entered the United States being suddenly told their protection is withdrawn and they must leave immediately. This shocking development has left thousands facing an uncertain future while igniting intense debates over the nation's immigration policies. Today, we dive deep into this dramatic shift that's reshaping the U.S. immigration landscape and explore what it truly means for affected families, future migrants, and the country as a whole. In a bold move, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, recently announced it will cancel the legal status granted under a Biden-era program to almost 1 million migrants. These are individuals who used a special system introduced during President Biden's administration, which allowed them to enter the U.S. legally on a temporary parole basis while their asylum or immigration claims were processed. Now, under the returning Trump administration, this parole protection is being revoked and many face deportation. This decision centers around the CBP One app, a tool launched in January 2023 to help migrants book appointments at official U.S. border crossings. The goal was to create an orderly and legal method for thousands seeking refuge, preventing chaotic crossings and security risks. Through this app, migrants from countries like Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela could schedule an entry time, get legally admitted, and obtain temporary work permits valid for up to 2 years while their cases progressed. However, on April 8, 2025, DHS declared an end to this policy. Everyone who entered via the CBP-1 process will lose their parole protections. This affects roughly 985,000 people who had placed hope in that temporary status. DHS officials justify this move by emphasizing the need to regain control over national borders and strengthen security protocols, asserting that the parole authority is being applied too broadly and misused under Biden's framework. The revocation is effective immediately. DHS is sending formal notices by email to individuals impacted by this policy change. In these messages, migrants are instructed to leave the country voluntarily or face strict enforcement actions such as arrests and deportation orders. To support this, the CBP One app has been rebranded into what is now called the CBP Home app. Besides appointment scheduling, it includes a new feature that encourages migrants to initiate self-deportation themselves. For many families, this whirlwind policy reversal feels like a devastating blow. Lives once filled with hope and opportunity face sudden disruption. Legal advocates are warning of the chaos ahead as countless individuals are left without any viable immigration options. Many do not have alternative legal statuses or protections, making them vulnerable to what's called expedited removal, a fast-track deportation process that bypasses a full immigration court hearing. Immigration attorney Nicolette Glazer describes the current situation as unreal chaos. She explains that once parole is revoked, migrants may have no choice but to leave or risk aggressive enforcement measures. This threatens not just individuals but entire communities that have begun to rebuild their lives in the U.S. To understand why this program existed in the first place, it's important to look back at the Biden administration's intentions. When migration surged to historic levels at the southern border, the administration sought a more orderly way to manage asylum seekers. The CBP-1 system was part of that strategy, an innovative digital solution to reduce illegal and dangerous crossings, providing a legal pathway for those with U.S. sponsors. Under this arrangement, migrants had temporary work permits and notices to appear in court. It was designed as a more humane and organized alternative to the chaotic conditions at the border. But for critics, including President Trump, these policies represented a failure to secure the border. On his first day back in office, Trump signed an executive order halting all new CBP-1 appointments and reoriented the policy toward removal. Immigrant rights groups have responded with outrage. They argue that stripping parole status from migrants who entered legally violates trust and upends promised protections. Karen Tumlin, head of the Justice Action Center, criticized the move, saying it tears families apart without justification and abandons commitments made under the previous administration. This policy change also raises critical questions about the future of U.S. immigration programs. Targeting migrants who use structured and legal processes could deter applicants from engaging with government programs, undermining future efforts to create safe and orderly migration channels. It highlights a larger political tug-of-war over key immigration issues. DHS counters these criticisms by portraying the border situation as the most severe crisis in American history. Officials accuse the prior administration of abusing parole powers to allow millions of undocumented immigrants into the country under false pretenses. For them, revoking parole protections is necessary to restore border integrity and national security. This isn't the first time efforts have been made to dismantle Biden-era immigration programs. Earlier in 2025, DHS announced the termination of parole protections for more than 530,000 individuals admitted under other sponsorship programs targeting Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. This fits into a broader agenda aimed at curbing immigration and increasing deportations. However, not all migrant groups are affected. Those admitted under humanitarian programs like Uniting for Ukraine or Operation Allies Welcome for Afghans fleeing conflict remain protected. This selective approach highlights the political calculus informing these decisions. For those impacted, the countdown is on. Migrants who refuse or fail to comply with DHS directives risk permanent bans on re-entry to the U.S. Legal experts urge individuals to consult immigration attorneys immediately to understand any remaining options, such as pending asylum claims or other protections. The stakes go beyond just the individuals deported. Mass removals could worsen instability in migrants' home countries, many already grappling with violence and economic collapse. Humanitarian groups warn that this could fuel more desperation and displacement throughout the region, potentially creating a cycle of crisis rather than resolution. As DHS moves forward with this unprecedented revocation, the question remains, will this harsh new policy secure the border in a lasting way, or will it spark new humanitarian and political problems on both sides? It's a complex issue with no easy answers. For now, those affected must face a daunting choice: fight their cases under increasingly hostile conditions, or leave behind everything they have worked to build. Thousands of families live with uncertainty, their futures hanging in the balance. If you or someone you know is impacted by these changes, staying informed is crucial. Our channel, U.S. Visa Tracker, is committed to bringing you the latest updates on U.S. immigration procedures, visa applications, and legal developments. Whether you're navigating visitor visas like B1 or B2, work visas like H-1B and loan, student visas, green cards, or family immigration routes, we explain what you need to know clearly and accurately. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss important news that could affect your immigration journey. Staying updated can make all the difference in these fast-changing times. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video with more vital information on U.S. immigration.